The syntax we covered for linear gradients in the last video is still necessary in practice for the WebKit-based browsers. And like I said, that same syntax is also supported in the latest versions of Firefox, Safari, Opera, and IE10. We'll just need to include their respective prefixes if we were to use them. So here, we'll quickly go over a few things that are different in the very latest syntax. The new unprefixed syntax we'll be covering in this video is now supported by IE10, Firefox 16 and above, and Opera 12.1. And it offers the same kind of flexibility as the previous syntax. In the new syntax, we can still create a basic gradient with 2 or more colors, and all color stops will still work the same way. But angles and directions work differently in the new syntax, because now if we want to change the gradient direction, we'll need to use the keyword to followed by the direction values top, bottom, left, or right. So for example, for a gradient going left to right, we'd type left in the WebKit prefix syntax. But this no longer works in the unprefixed syntax. As we can see here in Firefox, nothing is displayed. Instead of left, we need to write the actual direction of the gradient. So here, it's going from left to right. So the new value for this is to right. And as we can see, it creates a gradient that originates from the left, then goes to the right. To reverse it, we'll need to use the values to left. And now the gradient is reversed. And we'll need to do the same for to bottom and to top. To bottom being the default value. If we need the origin to be from a corner of the box, we'll need to add another directional keyword. For example, top left creates a gradient that starts from the bottom, then goes to the top left corner. And we can reverse this with the values bottom right. So now the gradient originates from the top left corner, then goes down to the bottom right corner. And we can also do this for top left and bottom left. Finally, the degree angles we set are also different in the new unprefixed syntax. So for example, in the prefix syntax, a value of 0 degrees creates a gradient from left to right. But in the new syntax, 0 degrees creates a gradient starting from the bottom to the top. The angle directions then continue rotating clockwise unless we specify a negative value. So a value of 90 degrees starts the gradient from left to right, and then a value of 180 degrees creates a gradient that starts from the top, then goes to the bottom, and so forth. Now, we still need to use both the prefixed and the unprefixed new syntax until the WebKit-based browsers support the new syntax, especially since the mobile browser updates tend to be a little slower than the desktop browsers.